Hello and welcome to Lancaster University Student Finance England presentation. My name is Nichola and I'm a Student Recruitment Officer here at the university, and I will be delivering this presentation for you today. So in this presentation, we're going to be offering information, advice and guidance regarding Student Finance England. So this presentation is only going to be relevant if you are a student within England. So in the presentation, we're going to be having a look at how the loan system works, so what loans are available to you. We'll have a look at how you apply for your student loans, and we'll have a look at the repayment system of your student loan. Then at the end of the presentation, I'm going to share with you some really useful and important website links. So on these websites, you can find out a little bit more information about student finance, and you can require a little bit more advice and guidance if needs be about student finance. So these websites are going to be really useful and really helpful to you. So I'm going to start the presentation now. Okay, so let's get started on the Student Finance England presentation. So the first thing we're going to be looking at today is the student loan system and what student loans are available to you and how the system actually works. So there's two available loans for you. So there's a tuition fee loan and the maintenance loan. The tuition fee loan is a loan that's paid to the university to pay for their tuition fees. So at Lancaster University, our tuition fees are £9,250 per year. Now, this is the maximum that a university can charge for their tuition fees. And the reason that Lancaster University charges the maximum amount for their tuition fees is because we have been awarded the TEF Gold accreditation. And the TEF Gold accreditation is a sign of a high quality and a high standard university, and all universities that have been awarded this accreditation are able to charge the maximum tuition fee loan of £9,250 per year. So with the tuition fee loan, there's no upfront fees, there's no upfront costs, there's no deposits to pay. All you need to do is apply for this loan through Student Finance England, and then Student Finance England will pay the university tuition fees directly to the university. So you don't need to manage this loan at all. You just need to make sure that you apply for this. So then Student Finance England can then pay the tuition fees to the university. So the maintenance loan, how the maintenance loan works is this a contribution towards your living costs. So any living costs whilst at university, so your accommodation, your food, it could be resources, stationery, it could be transport costs. Please take note that the maintenance loan is just a contribution towards your living costs. So it's not going to cover every single living cost that you have at university. So with this in mind, a lot of students do get part-time jobs whilst at university. Lancaster University is a campus university, so lots of part-time jobs within the campus itself, in the restaurants, in the bars, in the sports centre that we have on campus. So lots of opportunities there right on the students' doorsteps to get those part-time jobs. And then you've got Lancaster City Centre 10 minutes down the road by bus, where again, lots of cafes, lots of restaurants, lots of bars, there's theatres, there's a cinema, where they have those opportunities to get those student part-time jobs. So the maintenance loan is paid directly into the student's bank account. It's paid in 3 instalments. So the first instalment would be your first week of university. So this will be your welcome week or your freshers week, and it'll be in September or October, depending when your university has its first week. And then your second instalment will be in January, and your last instalment will be in March, April time. Please note that yes, your maintenance loan will go into your bank in the first week of university. However, it will go in your bank on the Friday of your first week of university. So you really need to make sure that you do have enough money just to see you through those first couple of days until the maintenance loan is available in your bank on that Friday of your first week. So there is other money accessible as well to certain students, and these students need to meet a certain criteria. So for example, we have the disabled students allowances, the childcare allowances, there's adult dependent grants as well available. So if you want to have a look whether you meet any of these criteria, do check the information out on the Student Finance website. the Student Finance England website. So Lancaster University also have scholarships and bursaries. So scholarships and bursaries are for students that meet a certain criteria, and this is money that is in addition to your maintenance loan, and it's money that isn't a loan, it's money that you don't have to pay back. So this money is going to be really, really helpful for you within your studies at university and within those living costs at university. So please do check out our scholarships and bursaries that we do have on offer at Lancaster University by going to our website and having a look at our scholarships and bursaries information on there. We also have another recorded presentation on this platform today that has information about the scholarships and bursaries that we offer. So if you are wanting more information, please go to our website and do go and listen to our recorded bursaries and scholarships presentation on this platform today. So the loan amount for your maintenance loan does vary on 3 different factors. So it does vary based on the year of study that you're in. It is based on the household income, so the income coming in at home, and it is also based on where the student will be living or studying. So which year of study you're in, this means that if you are doing a 3-year degree, a 4-year degree, or a 5-year degree in your last year of your degree, you will actually get a little bit less of a maintenance loan than you would in your previous years. And this is because you finish university in the June, July time, you graduate, whereas the previous years, you have a little bit more of your maintenance loan because that maintenance loan is to see you through those summer months before you then go into your next year at university. Whereas in your last year, you'll be graduating and you've finished university, you've left. So household income, we are going to go into a lot more detail about this a little bit later on, but the household income is the income that's coming into your household from the people that you are dependent on in that household. And the amount of your loan also varies on where the student will be living or studying. So I'll have a look at this next. So you can see in this table, there's 4 different locations of where a student could be living or could be studying. So if a student is living at home, you can see that this particular student, for this example, if the student was living at home, they would be entitled to the minimum of £3,410 for their maintenance loan. However, this student has actually been assessed, so their income at home has been assessed, and that income is £25,000 or less. So that means they can actually access an extra £4,337 of their maintenance loan. So these 2 amounts are combined, and it makes a combined amount of £7,747, which would be their maintenance loan for 1 year of study. So the not assessed in the second column, this basically means for any students where their income at home hasn't been assessed. So this is the minimum amount available to any student before any of the household income has been assessed. So if this student then decided that actually I don't want to live at home, I want to live in at uni, I want to move away from home and live in at uni, then they would be able to get the minimum of £4,289, and then the household income has been assessed and their household income is £25,000 or less, they would get £4,914. So these 2 amounts added together would be a combined amount of £9,203 for 1 year of study. So you can see that they'd be entitled to a little bit more if they decided to live away from home and actually live at university. So with living at university, the living costs are a little bit more expensive. So your accommodation, you'd be paying for all your food, you might be paying for your laundry to be done, paying for transport costs to go home at the weekend, or maybe to go home during the holidays. So you are entitled to a little bit more of maintenance loan than if you were living at home, because your living costs are going to be lower if you're living at home. Now you can see from this table, if this same student then decided to go and study at a university in London, they would actually be able able to access £12,010. And that's because the living costs in London are a lot more expensive than any other region within the UK. So your accommodation is more expensive, your food's more expensive, your travel costs are more expensive. So that's why you are able to access a higher maintenance loan if you are studying in London. And then if a student decides to go overseas, so possibly they've got a year abroad, which is part of their degree, they would be able to access £10,539. So this money is obviously to, again, help them with their accommodation costs whilst they're overseas, help them with their food, but also help them with any additional costs that comes with studying overseas, and help them, again, with those transport costs. So if they did want to come home in the holidays, they have that money there in their maintenance loan to help them with those travel costs. So we'll have a look at the loan amount dependent on the household income in this table here. So for this table, this is a student that's actually moved away from home and they're living at university. So you can see, depending on their household income, how much their maintenance loan would be for a year of study. Now, obviously, if they were living in London, their maintenance loan would be a little bit more. If they were doing a year abroad, it'd be a little bit more. And if they were living at home, it would be a little bit less. So you can see, if the household income for this student is £25,000 or less, their maintenance loan would be £9,203. Their tuition fee loan at Lancaster would be £9,250, and their total loan for 1 year of study would be £18,453. So you can see with the household income, you can actually work out how much of your maintenance loan you would be able to access. Now, if you want to actually find out the exact amount of maintenance loan you're entitled to or you can access, if you go onto the Student Finance England website, you can use a student finance calculator and you can import your household income from the people that you're dependent on in your household and actually work out how much maintenance loan you'll be able to access. Now, this is a really great resource to use because it can really really help you to start thinking about how much maintenance loan you're going to be able to access and how you're going to use this maintenance loan towards your living costs at university. So you have an idea of, the university you want to go to. You can have a look at how much their accommodation is, have a look at the range of different accommodation. You could have a look at what kind of things you'll think you are going to be spending that maintenance loan on whilst at university. So it is a great resource. I would really recommend using that resource on the Student Finance England website. So we're going to have a look at the repayments now and how the repayments actually work. So after graduation, the tuition fee loan and the maintenance loan are added together just to make one loan. Now, this makes the repayments a lot more simpler and a lot more simpler for you to understand.
Let's have a look at the repayment system. So repayments begin from the April after you graduate. So you'll graduate in the June or July time, and then you won't actually start your loan repayments until the April after you graduate. So that gives you a nice settling in period. So, settle into your new job, settle into a new city or a new town if you have moved away, and just gives you that time to settle into your new surroundings before you need to start those repayments. And then you don't actually start your repayments until you are earning over £26,575, and you will pay 9% of what you are earning. Repayments are based on what you earn, not what you owe. So if you do a 3-year degree, a 4-year degree, or a 5-year degree, your payments are not based on how much you owe. They're just based on how much you earn. And then after 30 years, your loan is written off.
So repayments are taken automatically from your salary. It isn't something that you need to set up. It isn't something that you need to manage. So on your monthly pay slips, you'll be able to see how much of your loan you will be paying back each month. And you will get a letter as well annually, so each year. And in that letter, it will tell you how much of your loan you have to pay, so how much is left, and how much of the loan you've actually paid. So if your salary decreases or it stops, so if you decide to go traveling for a year and stop working, or you decide to go part-time, then your loan repayments will be altered depending on how much you are earning. Student loans do not affect your future credit rating. So if you are wanting to buy a house or buy a flat and get a mortgage or get a car on finance, your student loan isn't going to be able to affect you being able to do these things because it doesn't affect your credit rating, which is really good, because if you are wanting to do those things in the future, then this student loan or your student loan will not affect that.
So let's have a look at the repayment scale. So a graduate pays 9% of anything they earn after £26,575. So you can see from the table on the left-hand side, this is a graduate salary before tax. So this is their gross salary. And then on the right-hand side is the approximate monthly repayment. So how much a graduate is going to be paying back of their student loan per month, depending on how much they earn per year. So if a graduate is earning £26,575 per year, they will not be paying back anything of their student loan. Then if a graduate is earning £30,000 a year, they'll be paying back approximately £26 per month. So you can see from this table, as the graduate salary increases, so does the monthly repayments. So the repayments are all relative to how much you earn.
So how do you apply to Student Finance England? So you just apply through the Government Student Finance England website. So this is the web link here. It's really, really simple. When you actually go on the website, you'll see on the right-hand side, they have a step-by-step instruction that kind of lets you know every step-by-step of your application and what's going to be happening. And then at the bottom of the web page, you'll see the Start Now button. You click this and you start your application. It will ask you to create an account and ask you to input your personal details, and then it's really simple, really user-friendly, and it's just step-by-step. I would definitely recommend sticking to the deadlines of student finance. So the deadline this year was the 22nd of May, and it probably will be similar next year for anyone that is wanting to apply for university for 2021. For those students that get their student finance application in before the 22nd of May deadline this year, they will be guaranteed that their student loan, so their maintenance loan, will actually be in their bank in that first week of university. If they miss the deadline, it's not guaranteed that that money will be in their bank. So I would definitely recommend try and stick to those deadlines if you can. On the application as well, it will also ask you to fill in the university details of the university in which you are going to. Now, you might not know at the time what university you're going to. That's absolutely fine. You'll probably have a list of 5 universities that you're interested in going to. Just pick one of those. It might be your favourite. It might be the one you think you're going to go to. Pop that information on your student finance application. And if that does change, it's absolutely fine. Student Finance England completely understand. They completely understand that students might not know what university they're going to at the time of their student finance application, or these details might change. So all you need to do is, if the details do change, is contact Student Finance England and they will just update those details for you. So we're going to have a look at help and support now. So these are some really useful websites that you can visit if you do feel like you need a little bit more information or advice and guidance regarding student finance. So you see Lancaster's website at the top, the Student-Based Services website. On this website, it's really great, actually. It has a really great resource regarding budgeting and what kind of items you will be spending your maintenance loan on. So your accommodation, so what are the accommodation costs at Lancaster? How much would you be spending on food realistically if you were studying at Lancaster University? So that's a really good resource. So do check that out, because it does give you a really good idea of the kind of things you will be spending your maintenance loan on. We also have the Money Saving Experts website here as well. Now, this has like lots of information, lots of advice and guidance on it to do with budgeting and to do with student finance as well. You also have the government website, so the Student Finance England government website, where you have the student finance calculator. So that's where you can calculate how much maintenance loan you'll be able to access. And again, lots of information on student finance and lots of advice and guidance on there as well. And then you also have the student room. So again, just a different website that offers information, advice and guidance on student finance. So lots of different websites there that will really help you just find out more information about student finance and gather that advice and guidance. Okay. So that's it from me. So thank you so much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. I hope you found it really useful for you. So thank you so much. And that is a bye from me. And I just wish you all the luck in the future and all the luck in your decision making for your progression into HE. So thank you very much and goodbye from me.